Hey, welcome back. Another snowy day here in New England. Kids have a snow day. I thought I'd take today and get some chores done, propagate some elderberries, some sweet potatoes, and try out a homemade soil blackberry I made. So come along, let's see how it goes. Okay, so we're going to start with the sweet potatoes today. These are purple sweet potatoes I grew last year, and I thought these would be perfect to start. They're nice and firm, not squishy. So what we'll do, we have some toothpicks. Just take about 3 toothpicks and I poke it through, leaving a couple of inches at the bottom. And then we just put it in a jar. I like to reuse old jars, and then I fill it up to the top. What will happen in a couple of weeks is the roots will start sprouting from the bottom. You'll get nice root growth, and then you'll get sprouts at the top, and then you root the sprouts, and you can have your own sweet potatoes that you grew yourself year after year. Take my sweet potato, stick it on top of the fridge. The fridge has a nice warm temperature to keep it warm, and I can show you this one I started a couple weeks ago. Already has roots growing out of it.
I realized when I was in the kitchen we still had scraps to feed the chickens, so I got all bundled up to head outside.
Hi girls, have some treats for you.
When gathering the eggs, I realized we needed more pine shavings. Some of them were a bit dirty, so one project leads into another. Let's keep moving.
I always just use pine shavings with chickens. In the winter I like to do the deep litter method. Although with this coop it's a little difficult, so just do the best we can.
Next up, heading to the shed to grab some pruners for our next project. We want to make sure they're nice and clean and sharp. Time to trim some elderberry branches. This is a second-year elderberry plant for me that I bought in a 2-gallon pot from my local nursery. What I'm doing now is trying to evaluate which branch I want to take a cutting from. I want to ensure optimal health and growth of the plant for the upcoming year. Elderberry does grow prolific in my area, so I'm not too concerned. What I will do is I will take a cutting just above a node so that way it branches out. Those branches I took were small branches that were crossing over in the middle of the plant. I want the plant to grow outwards.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is take our elderberry branch we have. There's 2 bud nodes here and here that are opposite each other. This one will cut at a 45-degree angle, and this one will cut straight, about 2 inches above, 2 inches below. This way we know which end is down and which end is up. I'm not sure if the smaller ones will work or not, but we'll give it a try.
I didn't record the next part, but what I did was I took these elderberry branches and coated them in a dormant oil. You can look up different oils online, find out what works best for you, and then follow the ratio of water to oil on the package directions and let them air dry. While my elderberry branches are drying from the dormant oil coating, last time I was outside, I noticed my bird feeders were empty, so I bundled back up and went outside to fill them. This bird feeder, I always have a tough time getting the top off. A bear came last year to help himself with the bird seed and twisted the top when he took it off the tree. And I don't worry too much about what spills on the ground. The squirrels always seem to find it and clean it up within a day or so. So now that the elderberry branches are dry, I'm filling a small canning jar with water, making sure the 45-degree angle cut goes down into the water. 2 of the nodes will be covered. Those will form the roots, and then the branches will come from the top 2 nodes. I will again put them on top of the refrigerator with the sweet potatoes to give a little warmth to the water. I am back out in the shed. It was a chilly night, so my soil is frozen. I am trying to grab what I can and add hot water to it to loosen it up. I made a soil blocker and I wanted to give it a try and see how it worked. I saw a couple YouTube videos on it. Wasn't too much thought process behind it. I just thought, hey, I can do that. So let's see how it works. After our first few failed attempts, I realized I was putting too much soil in to begin with, so I just put a tiny amount in to start, packed that down, added some more, and then that seemed to hold up much better. It appeared to be going fairly well. Some were working, some weren't. I just thought I had to get the hang of it a little more. I decided to grab another container to put them in, something more flat to support them, a little more stable. That looked like it was working well for a little bit, and then I realized that everything just seemed to be falling apart. So in conclusion, I think I was just using straight up potting soil. I think I need to do some more research and figure out a soil block mix that I need to use for this, something that will help hold better. So now I had all of these little lettuce seedlings I wanted to transplant. I was hoping to do it with my soil block. That didn't work. So now I'm just grabbing some pots and I'm going to try to make some lettuce bowls that I can leave in the house and eat off of until springtime. So after grabbing the labels and repotting everything, I realized the plant that's in the white pot looked different than the other ones. The other ones were Merlot lettuce. So I believe this is the Hendersons. I'll show you here in a second how they look a little different. The one on the right has a little red tinge. So we're going to grow them and see if we notice any difference. So now I'm bringing my little seedlings back inside. I am carrying all of them at once, which was a mistake. Right after I walked off camera, I dropped this bowl here, and some of the seedlings fell. This one I'm grabbing now, the roots broke off of it. I don't know if it'll root itself. I'm giving it a go and seeing if it'll work. I'm not too hopeful, but the other ones look good, and I'll keep you updated. Here's the scene of the accident.
That's it for today. Thanks for following along. Let me know in the comments section below if you have any tips, tricks. All of this is trial and error. We'll see what sticks, what doesn't. Oh, I hope that wind doesn't mess up the sound. I'm going to spend the rest of the afternoon planting some milk jugs and hanging out with the family. Take care. Bye-bye.
I love homemade bread. Just stale bread we never ate. Oh, sorry.